Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is actually part 8 of why I'm no longer a pastor's wife. For those of you that have not watched the other parts, kindly go watch from the beginning. If not, you will not understand the story. You need to actually watch it. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this woman's story. You hear people talking about church hurt and all that. I'm happy that somebody's sharing like her story. So yeah, for those that are up to date, let's
This
dive
is
right in.
part 8 of why I am no longer pastor's wife. Y'all was stressing me out, so I had to go out the country real quick, but I'm back and we're finishing this story. Okay, so let's get into the part of the story where we talk about what actually ended up happening as a result of my former spouse having an emotional affair, there being a girl who worked at the church and was a part of the ministry that we were the pastors of. What ultimately ended up happening, because it's really foggy in my head, and sometimes it gets my literally my brain protects me from remembering all that occurred. I remember we decided to go to our pastors and leaders and say, you know what, this man is not in a healthy enough place to do ministry, because you have now, from my POV, created a bigger mess than what deemed necessary. And I think I'm embarrassed at this point. I think I'm embarrassed, and I'm like, maybe you need a timeout. Maybe we need a timeout from full-time ministry. So you are considering and talking to other pastors that are in your circle. This is him, talking to other pastors and leaders in his circle, and they're saying, hey, maybe you should sit out for a little bit. So we go to our pastors and we say, hey, I think we need some time. They're like, what is some time? Maybe a year. They come back to us, they say, how does a 3-month sabbatical sound? Now keep in mind, our structure weekly was Sundays, service, 2 services. So we get to church 9 times out of 10 at 7:45. We do 2 services, we go home, boom. Mondays, usually nothing. He's in the office Monday through Friday. Monday or Tuesday, we're doing some sort of volleyball with our young adults. Wednesdays, Bible study. I'm getting there. I'm prepping for worship. Thursdays, young adults. So 3 or 4 times a week, we're at the church. So you say to us a 3-month sabbatical, we don't even know what that looks like. Not only that, what happens for the duration of 3 months that we're not here? I was starting to believe that they were going to hire someone else to then replace us. There was no way that they were not. And the reality of the situation is, now what I know to be true is that they were. And rightfully so. So we go to them, we say, hey, we would like to think about that 3-month sabbatical. We'll come back. Take a week, think about it, pray about it. Y'all come back. We come back. Hey, so we would like to take you guys up on the 3-month sabbatical. What does that actually look like? And also, this is the crazy part. This was the games that he was playing. The little mixed man. He was like, if I come back to this church, here are the things culturally that I want to see change. Because what was happening was, whenever these little, she's not talking to me and she's sitting in service with her head down, he was basically keeping track of, all the things that how he felt like the church was not responding in the way that he wanted them to. So it's just like, you guys sent me you told me to cease and desist. You guys told me to stop escalating the situation. When a diamond reached out to this pastor who, is supposed to be her friend, no one's responding. And it becomes this game where it's like, you're such a narcissist now that you have literally played a part in the part in your downfall, flip the script, then flip the script on the church to make it seem like it's their fault. But then in my mind, I'm like, it could also be their fault, because I don't know what they know, and they could be trying to protect you, and you could just be trying to protect yourself, and it's all a mess.
Like a total mess. And I'm saying it, and I'll keep saying it. Something happened, which much more than they're letting this woman know. And they're trying to actually protect the man, because I know how church works. Church, they don't like, some good churches, they don't like, oh fine, the act has been done. They don't like embarrassing you, but they want you to change. So, but there's that man in particular. He's looking for who will bear the downfall. He's not even protecting his wife, if we're being honest.
So he says to them, if I come back after this sabbatical, these are the things that I want to see. And I'm just, again, along for the ride. Yeah. What are y'all gonna do? How do we fix this? Where's the accountability? Blah, 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 blah. And I remember they say to him, if you don't really essentially like the culture of the church, big dog, we will pave the way for you to go somewhere else. Which was crazy because just the week prior to that, the conversation was, you have such a long runway here. We love you here. Yada, yada, yada. Do it. So now I'm just like, well, dang, how do y'all feel about us for real?
Which is why I'm saying so much more happened. And that man is not learning. I don't know if you guys get my point. For them to come out and say they want to give him 3 sabbatical leave, they must have been on his case. They must have tried to warn him, or trying to let him see if he will change. He's not changing. He's not changing. He could even be the one giving that lady go ahead to make her feel like, oh, she's welcome to do whatever she's doing. Any woman that walks up to a married woman and plays in her face, the husband is the one giving that side chick the confidence.
So now I'm sitting here conflicted at the people that I want to love and that I want to serve. Meanwhile, all still showing up, being a wife, doing ministry, being a person, health, trying to take care of myself. So it's crazy. We come back to them, and before we were able to make a decision about what our choice was going to be, I remember having a conversation with a good friend of mine. And that good friend of mine had the opportunity to talk to the young lady at the church. Keep in mind, I had not. And so we have lunch and we discuss their conversation. And what the church communicated to her as it pertains to her involvement with him was different than what the church told us as it pertained to his involvement with her. And what we were told was that this young lady was told, it's not your fault. You're not the problem. We're just going to make all of this try to go away, essentially. And if we thought you were in the wrong, we would be moving a little bit more differently. She was also told that our attempts were to get her fired, which I just wanted to see some sort of greater accountability. I wanted to see not necessarily her fired, but I wanted to see her reprimanded for her behavior. So when I learned that we had been lied to and gaslit and all the things, I then go to my sorry former spouse and I say, yeah, we're done here. Because now I don't know who to believe. I don't believe you. I don't believe her. I don't believe them. Nobody's talking to me. Nobody's looking in my eye. And I'm about to go, I'm going to go crazy. So I'm like, we're done. I think we are done here. And I don't know however long it was, less than a week, he puts in his resignation and we resign from the church. 3 weeks later, if that, we stand on the platform in front of a total of probably close to 4,000 people over 2 services, not including an online platform. And we say, this man's health is not in the place for him to continue. He's not healthy. We're going to take some time away. But people don't really know. And someone clocked this in one of my comments and they said, yeah, they kind of just disappeared with the little black moon emoji, like, because we did. And I cannot explain to you the pain associated with feeling like, not feeling like these are your people. You're doing life like I got keys to this thing. Like, this is my second home. I'm here more than I'm at my house. And now I have to stand in front of all these people and say, and do the whole pastor's wife thing. I never want to experience that feeling again. The way I literally wanted to, it was the most horrible feeling to essentially stand up in front of people and lie, is really all it was. And I mean, I still could not count how many people then, well, what's going on? Where are you guys going? Are you saying, we're telling people like because we don't know what the next move is. We don't, like, he has got to find another job. We're going to have to sell our home and move. And are we, what does all of this look like? The worst time of my life. It's so crazy because we end up leaving And we ended up moving a few months later. Not a few months later. Shoot. This was in October, end of October. Within a month and a half, we moved. God opened the door for him to get a job that was not a part of a church. And I remember, because it's coming to this time again, last year, this time, I was like, what was I doing this time last year? And I was packing my home before Christmas. My Christmas tree was up, and I have boxes in my house because the place that I haven't even lived in for all of 12, this was a home that we purchased, not renting, mortgage. And we just, do you know what type of, you know what that does to a person? And so this is now where we get into the marriage coming to an end and the move then to Tennessee.
Now that they are out of the church that the husband was using as a coverage, let's see, because this shouldn't have affected the marriage since they've moved away from the problem, right? His life should have come back to track, but you see, it didn't happen because, like I said, he was the problem. He was a problem. He was just looking for an excuse, a way out, or he was assourcing the blame to other people, other persons. See you in part 9, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me show you guys this handcrafted tie and dye shirts. It's so lovely. It's one of my favorite thing. Let me show you another. So this comes in blue and white.